What's success anyway? Is success about making the most money? No. Money, for the most part, turns people into jerks. I mean, don't get me wrong. As I mentioned before, you're never going to feel richer than when you've paid off those credit cards and student loans. But after that, money tends to be pretty unfulfilling. Almost all the people I know who've made a lot of money, they turn into that guy. All right, well, you know the guy who pops his collar? And if it were up to him and you're wearing 2 shirts, he could pop both collars? That's the guy. So how will we know when we've done it right? What's the ultimate measure of success then? What's the key to success? Well, in my experience, quite simply, success is happiness. I mean that happiness that quite literally fills your lungs. The kind of happiness that makes a noise. It announces its arrival with a deep inhale and a deep exhale. That happiness. You know that happiness, right? That happiness is success because it turns out happy people get jobs. Happy people create. Happy people win. Happy people fall in love and raise families. They lead and change the world. Happy people get what they want because often happy people are the ones who realize they don't actually need much more than they already have and they appreciate what they've got. Happy people are contagious. And every one of us here has the chance to be truly happy. Step 1, Ctrl-Alt-Delete. You know what it is, right? Luckily, we've got some computer literate people here. So we all know that Ctrl-Alt-Delete is the nuclear option for your computer. And by the way, I'm a Mac geek, so it's Command-Option-Shift-Power. But to go on. Ctrl-Alt-Delete takes your current state, wipes it out, reboots everything. Screen goes dead, comes back up, that funny little chime plays. Well, today's the chance to hit Ctrl-Alt-Delete on your life. Your past mistakes will all get wiped out in a full reboot that can happen today. This goes both for your personal and professional issues. So when you let go of those buttons and life boots back up, who do you want to be? How do you want people to describe you? Right now, you can choose. You can choose to get fit. You can choose to eat well. You can choose to learn a new sport or meet new people. You can choose to pursue an entirely new career path that has absolutely nothing to do with anything you've learned here. Today, you can push Ctrl-Alt-Delete and start all over again. So now do me a favor right now. Close your eyes. No, seriously, close your eyes. Don't worry, no one's going to steal your tassel when you're not looking. Oh, wait, except for that guy. No. With your eyes closed, I want you to think of all of your regrets, your failures, the things you might have done differently. Think of that Jaeger shot that was one too many. Think of that Facebook message that was supposed to be private, but you screwed up and put it on a wall instead. Think of the heated arguments during your group projects that made your team look like Gary Busey's squad on Celebrity Apprentice. I want you to think of all the ways that you've felt boxed in, stereotyped, limited, prejudged. Now, with your eyes still closed, gather up all that stuff, all those negative things, and put them in a suitcase. Seriously, envision putting them all into a suitcase. Now close that suitcase and hand it to the person at the United Airlines counter. And why the United Airlines counter? Because the airlines are guaranteed to lose your baggage. Now open your eyes. We've gotten rid of all of our baggage and we're ready to move on to step 2, being present. Now, have any of you ever seen an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting on TV? You kind of know the drill with like Dr. Drew and stuff. So the first classic step is admitting you have a problem. So we're going to hold our own addiction meeting here right now, and I'll start. Hi, my name is Chris. And this is the part where you guys say, hi, Chris. Nice. I'm a Twitter addict. It's been about 11 minutes since I've sent my last tweet, and I'm really jonesing to check my phone right now. In fact, sometimes when it's really bad, I get like the pocket buzzing, and I look and nothing actually buzzed, but I felt like it buzzed. Like, we're all like that these days, right? We can't wait to check our Facebook messages and see who responded to our post on Like a Little and see what's going on in email. We're all like that all the time. But every time I pick up that phone, I'm devoting some of my attention to it and away from the people I'm actually with. I mean, what if I picked up my phone right now and checked my messages right here in front of all of you? We could agree that'd be pretty lame, right? Picking up my phone right now says, hey, yeah, you're awesome. but I'm going to just look just in case there's anything, absolutely anything out there in the world that is more entertaining and valuable to me than looking at your face and hearing your voice. We owe each other our full attention. And why? It's because life is funnier when we're all laughing together. Love is more intense, and we're all smarter when we're paying attention. As one of the first investors in Twitter, believe me, I love when you put your 140 characters out into the universe. And I definitely believe that texting, tweeting, foursquaring, formspringing, Instagramming, daily boothing, and Facebooking all make the world a better place. But if you have to pick up your mobile in the presence of somebody else, include them. Tell them what you're laughing at. Tell them what you're typing back. And as soon as you hit send, put it down. In fact, don't just put it down and don't just put it on vibrate. Actually leave it. Maybe even leave it in another room for a few hours while you leave the house. I can see some of you starting to twitch already just at the thought of that. At night, try plugging it in another room, not next to your bed. And when you wake up in the morning, how about you go a half an hour before you actually look at it? Yeah, okay, now, who's having a panic attack at the prospect of this? I am. I mean, totally. You're my people. We feel the same way about this stuff. But I tell you all this because when we're on our phones, we're not actually present. We miss things. Being present makes you smarter, funnier, and undeniably more attractive. When you're right here, right now, you notice things. You notice the nuance and the expressions of the people around you. You notice the things that might make you a new friend or get you hired or even give you a chance at hooking up. You notice the day and how wonderful it is. You notice the people around you who might not be as lucky as you are, and the people who work their asses off to make sure you succeed. Right now, take a moment, right here, to notice the energy of this day. Notice the optimism in this room, the celebration, the gratitude, the relief I can see on some of your faces. Feel the happy parents and grandparents who are here, the siblings who look up to you guys. Look at the smiles on the faces of these professors who feel so fulfilled to see you cross the stage. Now notice your own smiles. Some of you are wearing these, oh my God, I can't believe I survived 4 years smiles. And others of you have these very peaceful smiles that come with reflecting upon a job well done. You all deserve all of these smiles, so take a moment and just notice those smiles. And now that we've hit the reset button, and we're all right here, right now, in this moment, it's time for step 3. Step 3 is to go on offense. Now, what do I mean by going on offense? Well, you guys all know sports. This is the Big Ten. You can't avoid sports here. You know what it means to be on offense. Offense is calling plays, managing the clock, keeping the other team on defense, reacting to you. Now take that term and apply it to the rest of your life. Let's take, for example, email. Is your email inbox offense? Is that playing offense? No. Inbox stuff is just defense the whole way. Imagine if you took your to-do list and you posted it on the door of your dorm room with a little pencil there and invited the entire world to come and add anything they wanted to your to-do list. Well, that's what your inbox is. It's a publicly posted to-do list where it's up to everybody else to impose their whim on you. And even worse, what happens is we get up and it's the very first thing we check. And so we get in there and we start doing stuff for all these other people, and yet along the way we've forgotten what we wanted to accomplish for ourselves. We haven't done the things that we know are important for us and for our goals. And so that stops now. It's time to close your email and write out your to-do list. I don't just mean your to-do list for work, I mean the big to-do list for your life. What do you want to get done? It's an awesome time in history to be authoring our own futures in real time. I mean, the internet makes it possible to be just 1 degree away from anyone in the world. Any one of you right now can send me a reply on Twitter if you had your phones out. And I'm that accessible. Any one of you right now could use the internet to become an expert in any subject at all. In 2007, back when I was at Google, I went from not knowing anything whatsoever about the wireless industry to leading a group that led a $4.7 billion project that turned Verizon and AT&T on their heads, sent the FCC spinning, and changed the landscape of wireless forever, paving the way for the apps we all have on our phones today. Never in history have there been fewer barriers in the way. No matter where we come from, what our parents did for a living, how much money we have, we all can be unqualified successes. So who do you want to talk to? Where do you want to spend your time? What do you want to learn? You just spent 4 years, maybe 5 or 6, but we'll just forget that. 4 years for the most part, taking the classes you were required to take. So now it's your turn to go on offense. What are you curious about? Where do you want to travel? What adventures do you want to go on? Which fears of yours do you want to tackle? Offense also means owning your personal brand. Your voice should be the first 2 or 3 responses when I search for your name on on Google. But how do you get there? You tweet, you post, you blog, you comment, you engage in discussions. You own your own identity. The tools are there to have a public identity and to go on the record, proudly so, and stand for who you really are. Think of it. I hire a lot of people for a lot of jobs. Imagine, why would I ever hire somebody just on the basis of a resume, when instead I can search for them online and get years and years worth of insight into who they really are and how they think and how their ideas evolve and how they react to the changing world we're in. Those tools exist for you to create your own authentic brand, completely within your control, and do it. Sitting back and watching television, that's playing defense. But going outside and being with your friends, that's offense. Provoke, inspire. Don't just get involved, but inspire others to be involved. That's playing offense. The most successful people I know live off of their to-do lists. And so starting now, soon to be graduates, I want you to think about it like this. I want you to set the syllabus and course descriptions for the rest of your life. So on the path to happiness so far, we've wiped the slate clean, we've committed to be present, and now we're on offense. But what should we do with all this drive now? Well, this takes us to step 4, and that's being helpful. Undoubtedly, we live in scary times. The climate is indeed in crisis, and don't let any oil executive tell you otherwise. 1 in 7 people on this planet doesn't have access to clean water. That's 1 billion of your fellow humans who don't have access to clean water every day like you and I take for granted. It could be depressing, and yet at the same time, there's such an opportunity there because it's never been easier for all of us to be helpful. And almost selfishly, you feel better when you're helping others. Not only do you start to appreciate what you already have, but you empathize with their situation, and you feel empowered because you can help them. And as you know, helping others is hot. There's no denying that. It's attractive. Even as young people without any money, you have the tools at your disposal to have great impact on the world.